Welcome back to the Elite Battle League channel. I am your host, Lionheart Plays, and we are back with another EBL Power Rankings video, this time for Season 4, Week 2 of the Elite Battle League. Just a quick little thing before we get started, of course, if you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel, please be kind enough to check out the description and check out the links in the description below, and show the coaches some love. You know, they're amazing creators, they're amazing battlers, they're amazing friends. So go ahead and check them all out. Subscribe to their Twitches, YouTubes, Twitters, OnlyFans, everything that they got down there. Go ahead and check it out. That being said, I should probably go ahead and say that this rankings this season was a little bit tough for me to go ahead and just outright, start ranking the teams. So I did have some help in going over the teams, and based off of what each person has told me, I went ahead and I formulated the rankings based off of how I found them and my reasoning. It's going to be fairly fair, but honesty is the name of the game, and we're here for it. Let's go ahead and start off, kicking off the number 12 spot, coming from the Dynamaxx division, the Dynamaxx Conference, the Hoenn division. In number 12, we have the Walton Wingles, coached by NateTube. Pretty much same thing as before. It's clearly evident in this battle that battle experience was not here in week 2. Again, whenever you see a Pokemon, setting up with Shell Smash, it means you're pretty much in danger, more or less. Toxic Spikes, I get it, but it allowed his opponent's Poltegeist to set up. Probably should learn from past mistakes as well, from what happened with week 1 versus week 2. Toxapex probably wasn't the best start, but though I see where he was going. I hit my mic. But I see where he was going, but I think a little bit more thought could have been had. But that's it for the Walton Wingles, again at the number 12 spot. Moving on to number 11, we have the Texas Tyrannitars, who is coached by the Doorman from the Dynamaxx Conference, the Kanto division. This one was just a stall fest. Facing up against yours truly, the Florida for Alligators. They had RNG not going their way, stalling, all of that stuff probably cost them the game. Instead of setting up, they probably should have focused more on attacking. Even the Tyrannitars mentioned that as well throughout their video. One thing that I noticed that probably, probably wouldn't have had much effect, but still would have allowed at least one more hit off. Now that the multi-scale was done, would have been if that Aggron had either A, go with your gut, set up stealth rocks, right? Or B, have sturdy. I would run sturdy on an Aggron. It's the special defenses are not well. If someone does their research, you could take it out with one hit if it doesn't have sturdy. At the very least, longevity, get another hit off. Chip damage is the name of the game. But that, so those couple of things is what kept dropped the Texas Tyrannitars down to this level, to number 11. Moving on to number 10, we have the LA Inferno, coached by a Lonely Hermit from the Mega Conference, the Johto division. They played pretty dominantly, I feel. This was a very good match to watch. Great win against Bob, who is arguably one of the best battlers in the league. Predictions all over the place. Sadly, if he didn't get swept last season by his former opponent, he would have been higher in this week's rankings. That's the only thing really that was setting him back, is that sweep. But because this match was fairly dominant, I feel, for a good portion of it until his opponent tried to come back and whatnot. Very fun match to watch, though, so I highly recommend you to watch it if you guys haven't already. Going to number 9. Number 9, this is where it starts to get a little bit tough. Looking at my notes here because, as you can see, or as I told you before, it's a little confusing. But number 9 ultimately goes to the Atlanta Braviary from the Dynamaxx Conference, the Kanto division. Head coach is Matty Ice, Stone Family 64. So this one was pretty. This was also a good match to watch. Matt has shown us that his bugs mean business. There was one mistake made, and sadly, that one mistake almost resulted in a sweep or in a reverse sweep from his opponent Zapdos. Had he just risked the Stone Edge, because if it misses, it misses. Just blame it on RNG at that point, right? But at this point now, he went for the Throat Chop to try to be safe. The Heracross was +2. It had the speed boost. If it had just gone and done the Stone Edge to take out the Zapdos, it would have killed it, even though it was Dynamaxx. And the Moxie would have kicked in, and it would have just been a regular sweep. There would have been nothing at that point, I think, that Max could have done to prevent that Heracross from sweeping. Bad move choice going into the Throat Chop. I can see why the accuracy issue with Stone Edge was a thing. Wanted to play it safe, but that fatal mistake is what ended up happening. What ended up costing him the match, I feel. So that's why he's in the number 9 spot. Moving on to number 8, we have the Iowa Incineroar from the Mega Conference, the Sinnoh division. Now, I know this is quite a bit of a drop from where they were last week, but the couple of things that went wrong with his match. For one, his opponent brought a Zoroark. You should have in the back of your mind that the Zoroark is on the team. You should probably try to risk it, even if it's something we would all understand why you did it. If you had gone for the body press on the Skarmory, just to get a little bit of chip damage off of it, because the next move still didn't kill, I believe, if I remember correctly. Regardless, the Zoroark was there. You should have known. You should have kept that in the back of your mind. Another thing as well. Like the Walton Wingles, I think that that Infernalman could probably learn from his past mistakes. Obviously, what happened in other seasons does not count with what their rankings are for this current season. Last season was last season, and that's it. However, what happened last season happened again this season with the fake out on the Mienshao. It happened last season with the Hitmontop. Yeah, Hitmontop with the fake out. It happened again with the fake out on the Mienshao. He says that it's not the reason why he lost. I think it's one of the reasons why he lost. That and the Zoroark. Had he kept that in mind and played a little bit better, and kept both of those things in mind and played a little bit better, he could have done a better job with the match. I know that his preparations were set along with the Eternatus. Understandably, he was understandably caught off guard when his opponent didn't bring the Eternatus. I would be too, because not for nothing, I would be thinking, I would bring my 2 legendaries, and the fact that his opponent didn't, threw him off guard for a little bit. So I get that, I get that his preparations were for the Eternatus, but still, it could have been a little bit of it could have been better played had he kept in mind the Zoroark and the Mienshao's fake out. Moving on to number 7, we have the Indiana Igglybuffs, moving down 1 spot from their former spot, I believe, last week. I think they moved down 1 spot. They were number 6, if I remember correctly. The Indiana Igglybuffs from the Dynamaxx Conference, the Hoenn division, coached by Bob, aka Yeltnib. Again, his opponent was Lonely Hermit. It was, like I said, it was a great match to watch from both sides. I can see the strats. I can see where Bob tried to handle everything. It's just that, Lonely Hermit was predicting everything, correctly. His strats were okay. The RNG on the Dragonite was painful to watch. The double para, I believe it was, wasting the Dynamaxx turns. Had that not happened, especially with the Dragonite coming back, had that not happened, it might have been a different story, to be honest. It might have been a different story. I can't remember if he brought Roost on the Dragonite or not. That should be a thing, seeing as it has multi-scale and whatnot. And he also didn't have a way to prepare for the Stealth Rock. So food for thought. Always be prepared for stealth rocks. It's a very prevalent entry hazard. But nevertheless, only dropped down 1 spot and is currently in the number 7 spot in the power rankings. Moving on to number 6, we have the DC Starmies, coached by it's really TimmyB from the Mega Conference, the Johto division. So he also dropped 1 spot from Week 1's rankings. This battle, he got caught off guard with the starter. You know, it happens. He did manage to get first blood. This battle was back and forth. It was very good. It was very fun to watch. He played really strategically. He played tactically. His tactics were sound as he was going over them, you know, for the recording and everything. If you watch the video, or if you haven't watched it, but if you watch the video, you can see him going over how, you know, his tactics and his strategies. They were sound. They were good tactics. Ultimately, the Ice Shard was something that he should have remembered, especially bringing out the Rotom Mo, you know, Ice Shard priority. It knocked out the Lycanroc too. So that was a defining thing. And of course the Blaziken with the speed boost, and the Starmie with the U-turn and whatnot. Deadly combo. But nevertheless, it was a very good battle. Timmy played really, really well for his inaugural season in the EBL. So still, kudos to you, my friend. You played really well. Going on to number 5, we have the Essex Espionage from the Dynamaxx Conference, the Kanto division. The reigning champions currently, they did lose their first week, came back strong with their second week, played very differently than they normally do. A lot of offense in this match. They showed a great combo of speed and power, and they caught their opponents off guard. Obviously, the Zoroark play was brilliant, and had a hand in his victory. So congratulations on your decisive win, Pokepidge, who again I forgot to mention, head coach of the Essex Espionage. But congratulations on your win. And we can't wait to see how you continue. Let's see if you can hold on to that title, my friend. Going on to number 4, we have the Detroit Luxrays, coached by Game Reviews, aka Max, from the Mega Conference, the Sinnoh division. Now, Max played really, really well. His switch-ins were really, really well. I will say this. He got lucky that his opponent did the bad move choice, because had Matty Ice gone for that Stone Edge, and even worse for Max, if it hit, that would have resulted in a sweep or reverse sweep. I can't remember how many mons were down at that point. But regardless, it would have been catastrophic for Max had he had everything gone the other way. But still, decisive win. The Zapdos walked away with the MVP for the week. I think again in a row, he got the MVP. If I'm wrong, correct? No, he didn't. I lied. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got that wrong. But he did walk away with the MVP for this week. So that explains why he jumped up from number 8, I believe, to number 4. In the third place, we have the Florida For Alligators, coached by yours truly, Lionheart Place, from the Mega Conference, the Sinnoh division. This match, we played the Texas Tyrannitars. Sorry, Alan, this match was very decisive from the very beginning. His strats, the Claydol set was really good. It was a good Claydol set. It's something that I would run to on a Claydol. I like using Claydol, so I'm very happy that I got to see it and see what it can do in this battle. So yeah, we played the match really well, I feel. We stalled out the Trick Rooms effectively. We stalled out the Dynamaxx effectively, you know, so it ended up being a wasted Dynamaxx. The match was completely one-sided until the very last second of the match. The Fish going down to the Barraskewda going down at the very last minute, at the very last 10 seconds, if I remember correctly, in the match was kind of, again, sorry, but it was really off of frustration at that point, because again, me and the doorman, we spoke as to why he did it and whatnot. We both hate the timers, but at the end of the day, you can't knock what is and what happened. He stalled. You know, with the wishes and the calm minds and whatnot. Had the timer continued, I think we would have won, or we would have knocked out the Jirachi eventually. But still, you never know. It could have gone the other way around with all those Calm Minds as well. But still, very decisive match. Coming in the number 2 spot, we have the Kentucky Kinglers from the Dynamaxx Conference, the Hoenn Division. Listen. I know that our host, Lonely Hermit, our host for the weekly roundups, Lonely Hermit, has said it. I'm going to go ahead and say it too. He has taken us completely by surprise with the team that he has drafted. No one would expect the fact that Derek would be 2-0 as of right now, as of the time that these rankings are coming out. 2-0. Played really well, has not lost a single battle. It was a close battle against Timmy. It came down to the wire to the last Pokemons and whatnot. And still retained his number 2 spot with that sweep that he got from week 1 under his belt. And coming in at number 1, we have the Tijuana Gengars, coached by Latin Luigi, the PTSD giver, the sweeper, the Swiffer is what I called him, codename Swiffer, from the Mega Conference, the Johto Division. Also has not lost a battle yet, currently 2-0. And much like Derek, he has the sweep under his belt, which is why one of the reasons why he's retained the number 1 spot in the league so far. But he also walked away with the MVP for last week as well, due to HP as the tiebreaker. Even though Derek also got the sweep, he walked away with the MVP because he had his Buzzwole had more HP than his Archeops, I believe it was, at that time. Still, those are our teams. You'll see them right on the side over there. Of course, if you have not already, hit the thumbs up, make it turn blue. Subscribe to the channel, the Elite Battle League channel, for more of these videos, and that way you can be notified when the top 5 plays come up, the top 5 fails, the weekly roundups, the power rankings, and we have so much more coming out as well. Not to mention, of course, again, click the links in the description below so you guys can support the coaches, as they are amazing people. Go ahead and do so. And with that being all said and done, I'll catch you guys for next week's power rankings for week 3. Later.